Have you back on the Thank God It's Friday edition of Morning Rave, and just before that break, give you a bit of what we'll be talking about at this moment. Just last week, it was said that the Islamic Sharia Court of Nigeria, the Oyo State chapter, proposed an introduction of a Sharia court in Oyo State, and that provoked a debate among Southwesterners. Some are saying that once it's introduced in Oyo State, it means that other parts of the Southwestern country might start adopting such laws. While they were outraged, there was support for some quarters, but the Oyo State Governor, Sheyi Makinde, even made a statement saying, as long as it's done within the ambit of the law, there'll be no problem. At least that's what he said from his statement. While others have said there's no fear about it, the rest have said, no, we do not want that in the Southwestern region. Well, joining us to discuss this very germane issue concerning the nation, it's the Chief Imam of Islamic Platform Society of Nigeria, and of course, the Chief Imam of PSSDC, Magodo, here in Lagos. We're talking about Imam Abdul Karim Majemu Shafio. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for joining us.
Happy Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.
All right, that's coming from a man saying Happy Christmas to those who are celebrating at this moment. Do know that you can be part of the conversation, as I said earlier on. Call in. The phone line is available right there on your screen. If you choose to do messages, the WhatsApp number is also there. Send your messages to us. Let's have your thoughts about this or ask questions regarding that situation. And what we do know that it has been postponed, at this moment, but we do not know when it will be reintroduced, so to speak. So when you're calling in, let's be civil in our language and be brief to allow other callers join in the conversation. Let me start with this, Imam. Anytime you mention Sharia law, it paints an ugly picture. People talk about, limiting people's freedom, women in hijab or puda, men not allowed to do some things and the rest, and it strikes fear into people. What really is Sharia law?
Thank you very much. It's really great to be here this morning. Sharia law, let me first start from the word Sharia.
Yeah.
Sharia means a way of life.
Okay.
So when you now bring in the law, say Sharia law, for everything you do in life, there must be regulations.
Okay.
If there are no regulations, people will transgress. People will trample on others' rights. People will be asking for rights without responsibility.
Okay.
So you need to ensure that there are regulations. So in regulating human life, you bring in the law. The law, the Sharia law, means that the law of our Creator. If a white man develop a car, and he wouldn't just say, go and start using the car like that, because the car is a creation of our invention of some people.
Definitely.
Surely he will put the catalog there, a catalog that tells you, that gives you regulation. When you want to inflate your tire, this is the number you need to put. If you go beyond that, you are endangering your life and the life of other people. There are certain things you need to do before starting your cars in the morning. These are what? Laws. These are regulations. So bringing that back to the context of our discussion. So Sharia law, these are laws that guide the affairs of human being. And these laws are directly from God Almighty.
Okay.
Because anything you call law must be from the one that is superior.
Okay.
If you look at the Nigerian Constitution, you say it's our collective, agreement
yes,
to run our affairs by these laws. That wouldn't say that if you contravene or contradict the law, there won't be punishment for you. So in a land where there are no punishment, where there are freedom without punishment, when you transgress, then that is not a human environment.
Okay.
We are created, we cannot know ourselves beyond or above the Almighty Creator. Do you know what I'm saying? He created us. He knows how we feel. He knows how we relate with ourselves. So in essence, the Sharia law is to bring humanity into the context of existence. This I'm telling you, I'm not just talking, I am talking from authority. I'm talking from knowledge. I'm not talking from any idea of ideology or extremism. No. I'm speaking for practical knowledge. And I can give you examples or instances, even from the Western world, how they've been able to mainstream this law into the...
Are there elements of Sharia laws in...
Thank you. That's what I want to mention. In Nigeria, consider the element of Sharia law. You cannot study law in Nigeria today without taking part of Sharia law. That's to show you, I'm not talking about, if you go to the north, down to the middle belt, do you get what I'm saying? And even I must also, if you go to the Kentucky University, in Kansas University, there's no law, there's no course that is attached to engineering that you will study in the US, in some part of the US, that you not take the element of Sharia law. Which you take some element of Islamic studies. Do you get what I'm saying? That talks about the law and everything. It's about life.
No.
But they want to absorb everything.
Okay.
Because so when you come to Nigerian context now.
But do you think that what we've seen for instance, in a northern region, where fear of they have this security agencies called the Hizbah, who checks on people. We've seen it. There are reports of amputation due to stealing and the rest. And then you go to places like Afghanistan and co. and see what they are doing. Would you say these are extreme Sharia laws, or really? Because those are the things that scares a lot of people when they hear Sharia law, and they feel...
So I want to talk about the problem of Sharia law, even globally. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between the law itself and the people that practice the law. To practice the law. Do you get what I'm saying? So that is why we see when people bring in their own sentiment into practicing the law, you tend to go beyond the limits. And because of what we have experienced globally, so anywhere you hear, the people have the phobia about Sharia, that when they say Sharia, they see Sharia as Muslim thing. As
a Muslim thing.
Then not only that, by extension, they see it as an extremist, extremist approach to human life, existence. And that is why people like us are trying to tell people that is not, don't judge. The Bible itself is Sharia. Because we use the word Arabic Sharia, that is why people think it's so. The law of Nigeria, the Nigerian constitution, is Sharia. Sharia means a path to peace. Where everybody will be safe and protected.
Because another thing
you gave an example of amputation. And amputation is a law in the Sharia. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a law. Like I said when I started, I talked about God and the best thing for man. Do you get what I'm saying? Amputation is brought into Sharia to say, okay, if you steal, it's a disgraceful act. It's a disgrace. But how do we get to the level?
But I have to ask her, if you say, okay, Sharia law, if you steal, of course it's a crime. And is Sharia law close to what we have? Because in Nigerian law, it is more of proving beyond reasonable doubt, that somebody committed this crime.
Exactly.
Does it apply to Sharia law? Or Sharia law is just, you are guilty and...
you see, that is another problem that we face. There are processes. Before you can say somebody has stolen in Sharia, it's even beyond the common law. When you want to adjudicate, the Sharia says, before you can say somebody has stolen, the first thing you do is that person doesn't have a job, a means of livelihood. If he doesn't have, you cannot try him. You cannot punish him.
He stole out of poverty.
Two is that, okay, if he has a job, is he being paid as at when due? Do you get what I'm saying? If it's not, you cannot.
So those factors are looked at to say, okay, this is the reason why he stole.
Until they discover that you actually steal out of the fact that you want to steal. There's nothing that pushed into what? Stealing. That is when the law will not take it costs. Otherwise, no way. In fact, there are some of these that they will take the blame to the state.
Okay.
That you have not provided job. And that is why I said, go to anywhere in the world. If you complete your school, the government immediately, if there are no jobs, they give you what to eat. Go there, get free food. As we have in the Western, we have in the Islamic world. Do you get what I'm saying? So, meaning that the state has the responsibility to ensure that nobody steals. It is a basic need for people to feed and feed well.
There's another thing about, when insurgents, extremists like Boko Haram and the rest use the Sharia law as an excuse to say it's because we want a Sharia law, that's why we're fighting for all of this, Would you also look at that and feel that's another reason why people are usually very skeptical when it comes to Sharia law, because they feel extremists use that as an excuse?
Yeah, we also have, that is another very important point why people develop phobia, because the extremist group use Sharia to profile themselves and to give legitimacy to their nefarious act, and which is even anti-Islam.
Okay.
In Nigeria, I'm not talking of another country, we are in a secular state.
Of course.
So, you cannot impose your law, your religious law, according to the Nigerian Constitution, Section 38, subsection 1. People have freedom of religion. So, you cannot say because, you want to impose a particular law, which is not the generally accepted law. You cannot. That is, on its own is even against Sharia.
Because that's what another time people were worried about, that if I'm a Christian, does it affect me?
So,
and then another thing is that if, for instance, in Southwestern, you know how liberal we are. My mom can be a Muslim, my dad can be a Christian, or thereabout, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So how does that affect me? If, for instance, Sharia is introduced in Southwest, how does that, if I'm found of any crime or whatever, do I run to my Christian faith and say, no, I'm a Christian this time around? Or Sharia insists that you have a Muslim background, and therefore you are, you are liable to face the court, the Sharia court?
You see, in this kind of context, and that is why even the introduction in Oyo State is not to impose Sharia on anyone.
Okay.
As a Muslim, I have the right to say I want to go to the court that suits my faith. It's part of my religious freedom. Do you get what I'm saying? And that is what they are trying to do in Oyo State.
Okay.
Now, for instance, I have a business with a Christian, and where it leads to we have to go to court. So, as a Muslim, I cannot take a Christian to Sharia court.
Okay.
No, it's even against Sharia itself, because it does not believe in that law.
Okay.
And it doesn't buy into that law. And that law is not the generally accepted law. So we need to go to the normal court. Do you get what I'm saying? And get judgment.
But if he's a Muslim?
But if he's a Muslim, even though that Muslim himself, because it's not a generally accepted law, he has a choice to say, I'm not going to what? Sharia court. For instance, I'm married to a Muslim. And our wedding, we did in the Sharia court or in the mosque. So anything that affects that relationship has to go to Sharia court. I cannot go to a normal court to do that. No, that is what they are trying to provide for the Muslims.
Okay.
It's your right to say as a Muslim that, okay, I don't want it, because I must tell you the truth, not because I'm a Muslim. There are some limitations to the normal conventional courts in terms of education on Islamic matters. And that is why you see, that's why they say, as a lawyer or as development to a judge, as a student of law, you must study some element of Sharia. Do you get what I'm saying? And in practice, you are no longer practicing it. It goes off you. Do you get what I'm saying? And because it's a choice also, the way a Christian has a choice, or any other Nigerian has a choice to say, I want to go to the normal conventional court. I also, as Muslim, have the right to go. It's only
if I'm a Christian and I have a problem, legal problem with a Muslim, can I approach a Sharia court?
If that is what you want, it's your choice. all the whole thing we're talking
but
about.
I feel that maybe the secular courts may not address it properly. And
you can go, it's your choice. Nobody.
Okay. So I can take the matter.
You can take the matter to Sharia court. Nobody is coercing you. You feel that Sharia court will do justice better. That is your opinion. And you say you approach the Sharia court. These are the kind of options that they are trying to create.
All right, to all of you, we are certainly calls on messages. This is a very interesting discussion, I must say. And of course, it brought us on what happened last week when it was said that the Sharia court was to be introduced in Oyo State vis-a-vis the southwestern region, and it caused an uproar. We're here discussing it. We would love for your take into this conversation as we go with the conversation. So, Imam, another thing is that generally a lot of people feel that Sharia laws or courts are only for the poor people, that the elites are not affected by it. Even in the northern region, some states and the rest that has Sharia laws, you will never hear of them arresting an elite despite everything they've done, but you will see them arresting the poor and accuse them of one thing or the other.
Yeah, that is not Sharia court. That is not Sharia law. Maybe you're talking about the Isba group or because Sharia courts don't arrest. Their own is that when you go, so they bring in the police.
But they use whatever they do is based on the Sharia.
It's based on Sharia. But I keep asking what is the capacity, the training of those at the Isba group that are also doing this? Who is giving them? You see, Isbas are like agency. Even if you go through it, they are just using it for enforcement. It's like you're using police to enforce the law. Like enforcement. But there are certain things they also go beyond their boundaries, even that contradicts the Sharia. You know what I'm saying? Fine, if you say Kano State, for instance, except you are telling us it's a Sharia state, and you declare it to be a Sharia state. Otherwise, you cannot, enforce Sharia law on people who are not Muslims. Even though some Muslims who do not buy into it. That is why we have the issue. Do you know what I'm saying? This can only be done except until the state government proclaim that state is a Sharia state. Okay. Like what we had in Zamfara the other time. And if you look at it very well, during that time of Yerima in Zamfara, I met a lot of Christians. And they told me, I discovered that more Christians now go to Zamfara to stay.
Okay.
Yes. I tell of the Igbos, they go there to stay because they discover that this law actually is good for humanity. It's their choice.
So it helps in terms of security,
ensuring safe environment, ensuring a good business environment, whereby you cannot cheat anyone. Justice, equity is well entrenched. That is the beauty of Sharia. That is the beauty of Sharia. It's not because I'm a Muslim. If it's not, there are certain things people do that are not okay. That, like I just said now, you cannot, until you declare that state a Sharia state, that is when you can now say your Isba should enforce. But if not, you are still dilly-dallying. Do you get what I'm saying? You are not there, you are not here. That is hypocrisy, even in the law. Hypocrisy in Islam. Do you get what I'm saying? To humanity. So if you know you want to be here, be there. If you know you don't want to, so if you know, so you cannot be saying you are using the conventional law, and Sharia is not prevailing over the conventional law.
Normally our laws supersede even the Sharia law as long as
the
state hasn't declared.
That's what we collectively agree.
But if the state declares it, like Zamfara State declared total Sharia law, does the Nigerian law still supersede the Sharia law?
It's still, because there are some appeal that people can make to the common. Do you get what I'm saying? So it still supersedes. See, in as much as you are not, there is not a secession. You're not seceding from that country, from Nigeria. If it is Nigeria, because you can't be using the conventional law where you want to use it, and not be using Sharia law where it faces you. No, that returns to victimization. Do you get what I'm saying? It's even against Sharia.
There's this notion that Sharia, that countries where Sharia laws are introduced or are being used are not well developed. I had that argument to somebody, and I pointed out, I look at Saudi Arabia, I look at UAE and the rest, and I look at, but these countries are well developed. You see, it's even a tourism hub at this moment. So really, when you look at it, the introduction of Sharia law, does it in any way contribute to why we have an underdeveloped northern region? No. Or it's just Human nature or politics?
Yes, thank you. You've answered the question yourself. Human nature and politics. That is the reason for poverty. Sharia is to give everybody their dues, including the non-Muslims. There are provisions in the Sharia how you need to deal with the non-Muslims. Do you get what I'm saying? Even the non-Muslims will not pay your Sharia tax, but they can enjoy from it.
Oh, okay.
That is it. I still to be corrected anyway. I know what I'm talking about. I'm a Sharia student. So it's not that because I'm speaking English. No. I know. I studied it. Do you get what I'm saying? You mentioned something that we need to look at. Oh, poverty synonymous to Sharia. And thank God you're able to also see other parts of the world. It's just like the normal thing that Nigeria is going through. Is it our constitution that say we should be poor?
No, not at all.
Not at all. It's the kind of leadership and the kind of people we have. Do you get what I'm saying? So let me tell you, where people are using element of Sharia, maybe like 2%. Do you get what I'm saying? I've traveled to more than 42 countries in the world. Do you get what I'm saying? As I sit here. So I've seen, anywhere I go, I see element of the practice of Sharia.
In those places.
In those places. And I see it as basis for their development. So you cannot tell me that Sharia is about poverty. Sharia is about freedom, it's about justice, it's about equity, it's about having without destroying other people. Do you get what I'm saying? The Sharia tells us how you do business, how the agreement, even if it's with your father, you must have a written agreement. It must be a contractual agreement that is in the Quran. So, somebody, even if, like the issue of Christmas, and how do I felicitate with my
fellow Christian?
The Prophet said, 40 houses by your right, 40 houses by your left, they are your neighbors. And they have the right.
Okay.
A Christian cannot congratulate me and greet me during Salah, come to my house, eat my food without any restriction, and it's own time. And I'll say because of my religion, I will. That is not Islam.
I would like to go to there because there's this. I don't know if you're familiar with football. And Mohamed Salah is a very popular Liverpool player, and of course, every year he does that. He takes pictures with the pajamas, Christmas tree. There have been calls from some quarters, especially Muslims, condemning him for that, to say he's degrading Islam. Just the day before yesterday, a lot of people thought he was not going to post that due to the fact pressure. But lo and behold, he did post and wish Merry Christmas to everyone, And then you could see a lot, especially online, lots of Muslims who were condemning him and criticizing him for that. Does that degrade Islam? Based on what you've
some of the same question, somebody posted to me yesterday. I was not following it, but somebody was asking. I said, look, some of those that are criticizing Muhammad Salah don't even have the level of his faith. They are not up to. I'm not used to him, but I know that they don't even have the level of his faith. Because have you forgotten that as an Egyptian, they have the Christians.
Of course, they have
the origin of Christianity. The origin of Christianity is from there. From there. Do you get what I'm saying? So in their family, there are Christians. Yes. That is number 1 point. Number 2, he is a footballer who has fans. Religion does not define his fans. That is where he earned his living. That is where he earned his popularity. He didn't go to Saudi Arabia to go and play football. Not Qatar. Do you know what I'm saying? He's playing in England, where is also the origin of Christianity. Do you get what I'm saying? And he has fans that are following him.
Of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? And you now said he should not wish them. Wow. That is even also injustice in Islam.
Okay.
I say you can go online and start saying I defend what I say. It's even injustice in Islam. So that is where we have problem. Where people profile Islam as a religion.
Because we're running out of time, Imam. Let's
go back to Ibadan.
Yes, I want to go back to your state. Now, the Sharia court that was supposed to be introduced, it was said that a lot of people pointed out that it wasn't brought to the table of the State House of Assembly to discuss, to say, but they were planning to introduce that. Is that the right way to go?
It's not. Everything must pass through. Sharia is not new in Nigeria. It's not new in your state. That's the truth. The Sharia code they are talking now is they are just trying to bring it to the formal level. It has been in existence.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not like...
So it really didn't need any legislative
it's in the constitution already.
So you can...
the governor can say, okay, go and set it, go ahead. And let me make this clear. The Sharia court that is coming up in Oyo State is not to coerce anybody or Christian or anybody into, even the Muslims. If I decide as Muslim that I want to go to the Sharia court, it's just to give me an alternative, an option as a Muslim. I cannot marry, and there is issue of divorce, and I'm going to the conventional court. No, they cannot do that because my marriage is basically built, founded on Islam.
So I want to ask, what kind of cases can be had in Sharia in such
every case that the normal convention, including murder, everything is there. But because of the Nigerian constitution, they try to like restrict certain, as a corruption is not the generally accepted this thing, so you cannot try this and that. But you can try this, just like a normal customary court and you can try this and that. That is what we all have agreed in our constitution.
So mostly civil cases.
Civil cases. Do you get what I'm saying? When it's about, even if Sharia court give judgment, the person has the right to go to the normal court.
To the normal appeal court.
And appeal it.
So it means that Sharia court is actually part of our system.
It's not something alien to us.
And it's not different from the rest of the world. We also have elements of it. I want to say thank you very much to Imam Abdul Karim Majamun Shafio. He's the founder, Islamic Platform Society of Nigeria, and Chief Imam of PSSDC Magodo. Here in Lagos. Thank you very much, sir. And I wish we really had more time to go on and on. But we hope we'll have you again when such an issue arises. Probably when the court has been established, I will know that we'll have Imam back here to actually discuss it. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.